Look, that guy is playing his Tamagotchi. He ain't good. Wie is de link gekregen?
Deze is live. Nee, oh, link is live.
Look, that guy is
Ik ga
geen
niet
raak.
geld die we zien iedereen alweer niet elkaar.
Ja, ek
Oh,
kry
wat.
ook wel nuwe karre nie.
As jy mooi kyk, sal jy
link.
sien jy het.
Ek het een nuwe kar.
Deze is live.
Ek wag nog
Nee,
steeds
oh,
vir
link is
die
live.
Skyline.
Look, that guy
Ja,
is
Ik
ja,
ga
geen
niet
raak.
geld die we zien iedereen alweer niet elkaar.
Kyk hierdie, kyk hierdie man. Ja, ek
Oh,
kry
wat.
ook wel nuwe karre nie.
Kijk.
Citizen nuwe kar.
Deze is
Pina,
live.
wag
Nee,
steeds
oh,
vir
link is
die
live.
kar.
Oké, anders niet of. Louis.
Nee, wag, ek sal okay, ja, ek's nie of ek gaan net nog nie praat nie. Jy kan met hulle begin of jy begin hoe jy wil. Citizen nuwe kar.
Deze is
Pina,
live.
wag
Nee,
steeds
oh,
vir
link is
die
live.
file save as
Oké, Louis.
G1.
Okay, so basically, te begin.
Ja, gooi hom.
Allemaal om fucking seats te krijgen.
Ek gaan nou myself mute. Hou aan. File save as EV12.
Oké.
Okay. Hey!
Kom maar nou. Dan moet ik recht krijgen aan mijn kant. Wacht even.
Dat ek nie gemute hierso.
Oké. Zo dit werkt, nee?
Okay, everyone mute.
Sê vir fucking Rasta, hy moet homself fucking hoor. Hy moet nie praat nie. Hy moet albei. Oh, gaan we fucking. Okay. We'll be starting this court case. So my documents here. 1 second. Oh, fuck's sake. There we go. So it is police department versus Mr. Baloyi. Okay, so we'll be representing this court case.
PD will represent himself.
We'll be representing Mr. Baloyi. Lily! Okay, see, you'll be representing. Ma'am, you must be talking here in the Discord because I cannot hear you very far.
Okay, so I'm not going to mute myself, but I'll be quiet when I need to be
Okay,
quiet.
but you can unmute himself to be quiet here. So, okay, so basically, you guys are suing the PD for 25 mil.
That's correct.
For false imprisonment, loss of income, arrest without legal precision, and social harm.
Yes, that's correct, Your Honor.
Movies. Okay, so basically, I'll be working, so I'll be listening to your side. If you got any evidence more, you can submit it here on our email. And then after that, PD will also have the chance to explain, also provide the evidence. And from there on, I will decide on which side was wrong or right. So basically, you can ask Mr. Baloyi to come sit on my left-hand side. Then also, can you please submit your evidence on the email I gave you so I can have a look at it. And then also you can step forward, stand in front of the bench. So you can explain to me why you swing for this amount. Where did you get your information from? You can ask your client a few questions you need to. So Mr. Baloyi, can you please put your hands in the air, both of them? And repeat after me. I swear to talk the truth and only the truth.
I swear to talk the truth and only the truth.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Okay, you can put your hands down and sit down. Okay, ma'am, you can come forward. So basically, I ask a few questions for your client. Please provide the evidence.
100%, Your Honor. Just to start off the case, my name is Advocate Nita with case number 101312 against the PD. Just to state, we're going to go through all three cases as we go along, all three charges. The first one is false imprisonment, meaning that he was wrongly detained in prison for a period of time instead of obviously serving his 15 months that he was supposed to serve. If you look at Act 6 of the G City law, it shows that obviously if this happens and it's due to neglect from the PD side or from the prison warden, there is obviously damages that we can claim as a citizen.
Okay, you say case number, what's the case number 10?
10, 13,
Yeah.
12.
Okay, got it. You will continue.
Perfect. So obviously what happened was, if you can refer back, if PD can maybe just provide us with the charge document.
Yes,
When
charge
Mr.
document will be given to me after you finish your statement, and then
Okay.
when I said I'll have a look through it, but you can also explain to me because I think you also have a copy of it.
Yes, I've got a copy of it. I just want to refer to it quickly. So basically, Mr. Baloyi was arrested by Officer Donald for a couple of things. He was then obviously sentenced to 50 months of prison. Thereafter, he was neglected at prison. Basically, there was no one around, no one to feed him. There was a couple of items that was left with him, and that obviously ran out of time, like as time was going, and he was just sitting there sulking. And Mr. Baloyi obviously then finally got a superhero to come rescue him, and I know the person is sitting here today, Judge. I don't know if you know who I'm talking about.
Maybe Batman, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe Batman. So basically, after 50 months, someone came to his rescue, and my client is emotionally damaged. Today, where he's sitting, and obviously, if I can just quickly give you guys a little bit of background, I would like to submit my first supporting document, if I may.
Yes, you can submit it.
So Mr. Baloyi came to me, obviously seeking for help, because as he got out of prison, this poor man almost died, and he obviously doesn't even have a job at the moment. He's sleeping under.
Objection. That's invalid to the court case.
It is valid to the court case, sir.
It's invalid to the court case. We don't. It's got nothing to do with his job now.
Your Honor, can I please explain? Can I please finish my sentence?
Yes, you can finish your sentence, but please stay on topic.
Okay. So basically, the reason, obviously, it forms part of charge 3, which was social, and charge 2, which is obviously a loss of income, and obviously
Objection.
social harm.
How can she say loss of income if he didn't have a job?
Your Honor, may I please correct my colleague here?
You may go ahead.
So basically, it is a loss of income. If you obviously sit in the prison for 15 months and you get out and you tell your job, obviously, I only went out for 15 months, I'm back, you get your job. But if you disappear and no one knows where you are, obviously they're going to replace you and you're going to lose your job. So when he came out of prison, he didn't have any income at all. He lost his job because he was sitting in prison for more than what he was supposed to sit.
Objection again. You just before you went to jail, you sat without a job, and now all of a sudden, when he got out of jail, he lost his job. It doesn't make sense.
No, that's not what I said.
I see some evidence submitted to me now. I haven't looked at it, but you can continue.
Okay, so my first evidence that I would like to submit after my colleague rudely interrupted me. So basically, this is a document from the Gotham psych ward. When Mr. Baloyi came through to me, I sent him through to a psych ward to do an evaluation to see obviously how he's doing mentally, because like I said, he is emotionally damaged. He's mentally damaged with what happened to him in prison. Obviously, this is from Dr. Aish. And just to read here for record purposes, it's saying that the diagnosis is that obviously there's medical distress due to insufficient nutrients for over 50 months. Obviously, Mr. Baloyi is emotionally damaged right now, and it was found that Mr. Baloyi lived off his own urine and ate rats for the time he was left unattended in prison. He now suffers from a medical disorder called ratataphobia. Obviously, that is diagnosed with for the rest of his life. And then the doctor recommended that obviously for his mental health care, he needs to go for treatment, and he obviously he can use oxymoron that must be considered for his treatment.
Objection. This is after the oxy was found on him. This is after he went to jail, so that is irrelevant of the oxy case.
Just let you finish that. You will have a chance to speak. Please continue.
So just to correct my colleague right there, this was dated on the 12th of February 2022. That was after Mr. Baloyi came out of prison. And obviously that's the recommendation from a medical doctor that said that he should obviously be on oxy to help him work through this distress that the PD put him in. So let me put it to you today that this is obviously my evidence that I'm putting forward to say that this man sitting here is so emotionally damaged. He's sitting without a job. He can't support his family financially. He's living under a box at this point, and obviously we need to get him back onto his feet, and that's why we're suing the PD for for their negligence. 25 million.
Please, the guy EMS, please sit on your chair. Behave, or otherwise I'll also have a trial against you. Thank you. Okay, so basically, ma'am, anything else you want to add? Or is
Yes,
that
I
all?
would like to add because my colleague keeps on throwing the oxy in our face. So I just want to quickly, sir, because obviously the third section of the case is that he obviously got detained and he didn't even have any legal representation at that point when he went to prison. I want to submit evidence B, where basically this is a doctor's note from his medical doctor in Zim. Let me share it with you. So just to read it, it is from Dr. Chabalala Zumba from ESCOM, med number 233, and he's from Zim Local Clinic. And just to read here for you, it was issued to him on the 31st of January, saying that to her immediate concern, Mr. Baloyi has came under excessive medical procedures to rectify his bowel syndrome disorder. This certificate serves that he's allowed a maximum of 30 oxy bottles in his possession per month since he has taken 10 pills a day. So this is just a script that I've pulled because I know my colleague is going to throw this in his face, but this is obviously irrelevant to the case. My client already sat in prison for more than his sentence time for the deeds that he's done without obviously carrying this document with him. So that is obviously in the past.
Okay, so I got all the documents here. Is all evidence you have is this?
Yes.
You want
Uh,
to any other questions you want to ask? You want to ask one of the PD to come up to stand?
I just want to ask Mr. Baloyi, Mr. Baloyi, can you please just explain to me how did you get out of prison?
Me. I was sitting there, my tongue swollen, and I was sitting there, and then I remember this gentleman's face here, this Mr. Your Honor. He came by, but he wasn't the judge then, back then, I remember. But he came by and he asked, "What am I still doing here?" I said, "I know, I'm still here in jail." And he said, "No, just come here out of this gate." I tell him, "Morena, I can't, it's locked for." So I don't know, he took me through some VIP gate to another VIP gate that you can use. And but then through the VIP gate, I couldn't retrieve my personal belongings and also my job title back. So I had to buy and get everything from scratch. So yeah, that is how I got out through this Morena's help through a VIP gate
Okay.
after 70 months.
Mr. Baloyi, I just want to refer back. Emotionally, how are you doing right now?
I'm very, very, very heartbroken because my children back in Zim, they don't have any food.
This is irrelevant to the court case.
That guy always has something against me. I don't know why.
So please just stay on topic. Okay, so ma'am, you have anything else to ask?
I think I'm finished with Mr. Baloyi. I don't have anything else that I would like to add.
Okay, so ma'am, you can take a seat. Can the PD representatives please come forward? Um, please provide your evidence in the mail I provided you so I can have a look at it. You can also ask Mr. Baloyi some questions you need to. You can send in the front, let me just sit there.
Okay. Okay, good afternoon, Judge.
Good afternoon.
Okay, as you know, I'm Lieutenant Donald Roderick with the Gotham City Police Department.
Yeah, well,
Okay, so we are looking at that charges that was given to Mr. Phineas Baloyi for. It was first for reckless driving, failure to stop at multiple red lights, possession of oxycontin 28 bottles, and
yes,
weapon possession.
yes.
And then because he's a convicted felon of multiple um, cases, that he's a convicted felon of attempted murder, careless driving. So that gives the P. As soon as you're a convicted felon, it gives the PD the right to stop, pull you over, and search you. And at that time, Mr. Phineas was reckless driving. My dash cam was rolling as well. There's evidence on that as well. When Mr. Phineas was reckless driving.
Objection. Sorry, Your Honor. I feel like my client already sat in prison. He sat in prison for more than obviously his sentence time. So I don't think why we need to obviously get cows out of the slut, you know.
Yes. Okay, so please stay on topic, officer. Just
I
provide me the evidence in
topic.
that case.
I'm explaining exactly what happened. I'm still on my topic. This
Okay,
is
maybe
everything
give
that
me a chance to
happened.
explain.
I'm telling you why I've got the right to pull him over, Judge.
I'm listening.
Okay. And then secondly, when I pulled him over and he got out of the vehicle, I asked him what he has in the trunk. He told me he's got acetone in the trunk. I asked him, can I search it? He allowed me. I searched it. I asked him, there was acetone in the trunk.
Objection. Sorry, Your Honor. There's no mention of acetone in his report that he was arrested. Or can my client please just obviously highlight that for me? If he can just
Yes, so
post it.
like,
There was no. I'm explaining what happened in my
yes,
call. I'm explaining what happened. He was not arrested for the acetone.
you're looking at.
He was not arrested for the acetone. I'm explaining what happened to the court at that time. So if you can you please ask her to stop objecting everything I'm saying because I'm busy
Just to check,
explaining.
basically, just give me time to explain. I'll give you a chance if you want to ask another question or check, or just explain to me, and then also please provide your documents so I can have a look at it.
I'll provide my documents now. I'll send it to you now. Okay, and then secondly, when I asked him to search his person, he said, yes, I can search his person. I searched him when I found 13 oxy bottles on him. And
Objection. Sorry, Your Honor. I just want to correct my colleague here, because, and I'm sorry that I'm objecting you, colleague, but it is 28 bottles, not 30. Can we please just stick to the facts?
negative. Don't interrupt me while I'm speaking because your facts are wrong. I found 13 bottles of oxy on him, and I found an illegal firearm on him as well that he didn't have a license for. Secondly, I detained him, I put him in handcuffs, and I searched inside his vehicle where I found additional amount of oxy bottles that rounded up to 28 oxy. So he had 13 on him, and the additional amount was inside the glove compartment of the vehicle. And then after that, my fellow colleague read him his rights, and we brought him down to Mission Road PD, where I gave him his one phone call to phone a lawyer, and that's when he phoned our chief and started making funny comments to our chief on the phone. So he had an opportunity to phone a lawyer, and he used that phone call to phone the chief.
Okay.
And then I'll submit the evidence.
Okay, I'm looking at it. I'm waiting for you to come through.
What's the evidence? Kom ons maak so. There's that. Why is it not there? Okay, there's that.
Okay, Baloyi, reckless driving, position of schedule, drug one, weapon, cash X1, failure to stop, position of schedule one, drugs, careless driving, incident tunnel, officer tunnel. Oh,
I'm gonna
look at
send
that.
you. I'm gonna send you the next evidence now.
Thank you.
Okay. Just that's inside his vehicle,
Okay.
and then I've got evidence what I found on his person as well. I'm gonna send that to you now. Sorry, I've got one of these Nokia phones. They're very slow. Okay, I'm sending it now. It should come through shortly. There you'll see the weapon that he had on him with the oxy. And then, okay, that's that. Okay, then I've got video of where Reckless drives, and I've got video where I sent him for 10 months to jail. And I as well, let's just reverse a bit back to the traffic stop. When I confiscated the oxy off of him, I asked, he told me he's got a medical disorder for that oxy. I asked him to provide me paperwork, and then he said he doesn't have paperwork. He didn't tell me the paperwork is at home. He didn't tell me the paperwork is in his car, nothing. He said he didn't have any paperwork for the drugs. So how all of a sudden there's paperwork just popping out of thin air? It doesn't make sense to me.
You
Because
have the
all of a
evidence to provide when he told you he doesn't have paperwork.
I do not. But that's irrelevant. That's irrelevant that I don't he told me. It's a word to word, so it's
Yeah, so
irrelevant.
basically, word to word, I'll not take that in court because without evidence, I cannot believe what you are saying or what he is saying. So basically, his evidence for a report from the doctor's office, right there, provided to all of us to see,
Okay.
meaning that he has a condition because the documents are there from a
Yes.
legal employee from a doctor's office.
Okay, understood. The fact that this is Gotham City. It's nothing to do with the state of Zimbabwe, where the medical doctor certified where the drugs come from. So, by the fact
Objection,
of Gotham
objection.
City, legal amount of drugs of Oxycontin is 5 bottles that you may have on you. He had 28. Just because a description from Zimbabwe that got given by a Zimbabwe doctor can't break the law in the state of Gotham City. So still, Gotham City's law strict to 5 bottles of Oxycontin. So if a
Objection.
doctor from this medical center of Gotham City gives how can I say, a medical card for Oxycontin, he can't give more than 5. It's the law. Because Oxycontin is a highly dosed drug, you can only prescribe 5 bottles of Oxycontin, and he had 28. And
Donald,
yes,
hear me. Don't you can only explain to me the law. You see this big chair I'm sitting in? I am the law. This is my courthouse. So basically, do you have something against Zimbabweans?
no, I don't.
Okay, so basically, that report is from a medical Zimbabwean. So basically, that document is still valid. So basically, if
Negative.
you
It's
go,
not.
okay, let me something to explain. If you have a driver's license and you go to a different country, you can still be using that driver's license there, correct?
Negative. Depends on which
No,
country
yeah,
you
you can
go
still
to.
be using it there. So basically, I will go to the paperwork, just stay on point, provide me your evidence.
I'm still on
Okay,
point.
yeah. So basically, that documents I will have a look at. I will verify if it is legal or illegal. You don't work with the paperwork. You're a police officer, so stay by your point. I will have a look at the paperwork myself.
It's the law. The law is 5. It's the same as a joint. You may only have 5 joints on you, even if you've got a medical disorder. You may only have 5 joints on you. It's the exact same as oxycontin. You can only be described 5 oxycontin. And for further notice, oxycontin can't be got by EMS. They can only prescribe you painkillers. So where you got the oxycontin is another story.
Maybe from the pharmacy. I don't know.
There is no
Uh,
pharmacy that sells oxycontin.
Objection. Sorry, Your Honor. I think that my colleague is going off topic here. The topic here is that he was sentenced for what he did wrong for 10 months and he was sitting there for 70 months. That's the problem that we've got here.
Okay,
Um,
but that objection, that's not our problem that he sat for 70 months. We've got nothing to do with the jail system itself. That's down to the PD at the jail. We've got nothing. If we send someone there, that's out of our hands.
So basically, stay on topic, provide me evidence you want, and also, and I do object to myself there. Yes, when it comes to prison, you are still liable to look after the prisoners. It's your job. You're a
Negative,
police
that's not my
officer,
job.
you
That's
do.
not my
So
job.
basically, you are available. Basically, you must go look if he has food and water. They got a right, a human being. So basically, stay on topic, provide me evidence, and please continue.
Okay, hold on. Okay, that will be it.
Okay, so basically that's all the evidence you got. I see evidence you got on his glove box, the evidence on him, and also I see, okay, you got the letter what the charges is for. But
Yes.
something I have a point of view, asked him, can you search him in his vehicles? He gave you the go ahead, correct?
Correct, yes.
Meaning he didn't want to hide the items. Why did he give you go ahead? He couldn't refuse you and ask you for a warrant to search him. He did not.
Negative, he
basically-
can't refuse me.
yeah,
He's a
basically-
felon. I don't need a
yeah,
warrant to search
basically-
him if he's a felon.
Okay, so this is all evidence you have against Mr. Baloyi here. Anything else you want to add? Any questions you want to ask Mr. Baloyi here?
Negative, no question.
Okay, so basically got everything. Anything else, ma'am, you want to add to this before I make my final decision and go through all the paperwork?
yes, I would like to cross question my colleague, please, Your Honor.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, so obviously my colleague made a statement here that when he made the arrest, obviously he took the incident down. A rookie made the arrest, so he wasn't even the documentation that was submitted by the PD is also not accurate, because it's saying
Objection.
here that the incident officer is a
Objection.
Donald.
Yes, I'm Donald Roderick. I'm the lieutenant that arrested the subject.
But is
And
it allowed for a rookie to make the arrest if
the
he was
rookie
not
did not make the arrest. I made the arrest. I'm the arresting officer.
Objection.
Go ahead.
Okay, I was flying the helicopter. I heard Officer Roderick asking the rookie just to stand there while he went back to PD to go and fetch another vehicle so that he can transport him to PD. Then the rookie stood there while Officer Roderick went down to PD to go and fetch another vehicle so he can transport him back to PD. The rookie didn't arrest him.
Okay, so Rookie just looked after him for other officers to go get to fetch a vehicle to transport Mr. Baloyi to basically the police station.
Yes.
Exactly.
um, okay. Mr. Baloyi, can you please explain to me what happened?
I'm dying to answer here. You know, what happened? Can I quickly stand because I'm seeing some messages that I'm gonna fall asleep.
Yes.
Enough.
All right. Okay. So what happened there is wait. My legs is feeling numb. Hold on. Okay. So what happened there is that is correct when Lieutenant Donald told the rookie to wait here until he go to find a vehicle. So he came back with this vehicle who's got a fishing hook on the backside, né? So he came back with that fishing hook bucky. And then he told the rookie to read my rights to me. So the rookie read my rights. And I heard Lieutenant Donald tell the rookie, I already cuffed the suspect. Don't cuff him again because you're gonna mess up his pockets. And then that rookie, he cuffed me. So I had to go
That's
sleep and
irrelevant
wake
to the
up.
case. That's
I had to
irrelevant
go
to the
sleep
case.
and wake up.
Objection, that's irrelevant to the case. That's a government issue. That's not a police issue. It was by mistake. That's irrelevant to the
That thing
case.
will be that one will basically be removed from the statement. Basically, that is not relevant to the case. So basically, please stay on topic. Ask you a question. What happened? So basically, what happened is the truth that you hear an officer tell the other officers in the fetch a vehicle to give you to transport you to PD. Mr. Baloyi.
Correct, sir. But
That's correct. So
the
basically,
one, can I say something, Your Honor?
yes, you can.
Am I right? The arresting officer is the one that must read your rights. Am I right?
That is
Negative. That's
no,
not right.
why not?
That's not right. If your
Okay, so
rights
basically,
being read to you, then that's fine. At
okay,
least
basically,
before I
who
put
can
in my
read your
vehicle,
rights?
your rights need to be read to you.
Okay. Okay, I will have a look at that as well now. So basically, anything else maybe you want to ask Mr. Baloya?
No, I think we've covered everything here, sir. All I want to say is there is no proof or there was no evidence submitted from the PD department to say why my client was obviously stuck in prison without food. He had to drink his own urine. He ate rats.
Irrelevant,
Just
irrelevant.
to just
It's
to
irrelevant.
survive.
That's a
So
government issue, not our issue.
it's still the PD's job to look after
Negative. That's
the prison.
irrelevant.
So
He's been
basically,
sent for 10
please
months. He
quiet.
must find himself out. That's
In the court.
irrelevant.
So basically, ma'am, can you please take your seat, Mr. Baloy? Please go sit next to your lawyer there.
It's
So
fine.
basically,
I
what's
have my
happening now, I'll be going through all the paperwork. I'll be reviewing every little detail quickly. And what's happened is in the final, my decision will be final. In the end, when I make my decision, I don't want to hear anything against it. If you have a problem against it, please bring it up after the case is done. If you want to go further than that, we can open a case against you because this is my law, this is my court. So basically, give me a few minutes. I'm just reviewing all the evidence. Just sit in your seats. Give me a minute or so. I am busy going through all of them. 1 second. So basically, like I look at Baloy's thing for he's suing the PD for 25 mil for false imprisonment, loss of income, arrest without legal proceedings, and social harm. Okay, so basically, first thing, 25 mil will not be granted for this because this thing is not worth 25 mil. That's ridiculous. Number two, false imprisonment. No, it's not false imprisonment. He didn't provide the letter for the medicine.
sorry,
Yeah,
Honor. Sorry, Honor.
let me just finish up quickly. But false imprisonment, he had illegal weapon on him. So that's also not false imprisonment. But the oxy thing, I will stand down because he has a letter now. But false imprisonment for illegal weapon doesn't work. You had a weapon on you without a license, you are going to jail for that. Loss of income, I do understand that. Arrest. Just explain to me this. Arrest without legal representative. Like the officer said now, they gave him his one phone call. He phoned the chief of police. He didn't phone the lawyer. So basically, that will not stick because he had his phone call. Social harm. Basically, social harm is more imprisonment thing. Okay, in 1 second, just give me a chance to talk as well. Then I'm looking at the second one, the doctor letter. That's from Gotham City to say that he is. 1 second, I'm opening up again. Okay, there we go. So he has a disability, correct? At this moment.
Yeah, due to the fact that he was left in
Yeah,
prison.
yeah, there we go. Then I'm also looking at this letter from Zimbabwe. This is my opinion because I'm long time studied law. So basically, this document is still from basically a medical. Mrs. Zimba. Basically, two things will be happening here. I will take that statement and use it because that statement from the Zimbabwean doctor is also valid because it's still a medical note, even if it's not from the States. But what I also want to do is, ma'am, you must take your guy to the hospital here, Gotham, and let them also give me a report after this case for the same thing, like the Zimbabwean guy that he got permission to carry that kind of tablets on him. And then also, I'm also going to agree with the PD about the amount being used on him. So if you're going to use 5 bottles, correct? On First Donald, you can carry 5 bottles, correct?
Correct. The 5 bottles, it's the
So
same as
basically, that
your
must
weed.
be in state because that is the law. That's the PD law. He was arrested for carrying a weapon. That is correct. He had illegal weapon on. Evidence is against him. Failed to stop. He didn't stop. That's also against him. Possession of Schedule 1 drug. He had drugs on him, but he didn't have the letter. So basically, that will be cut out. He did sit his sentence. It's supposed to be 15 months, but he said, how
Objection,
much months he
it's
said?
10
15.
months.
Yeah,
10.
10 months, sorry. But he was in jail for 70 months, eh?
Yes, that's correct, Your Honor.
70 months. Okay, so this is, I see it in my way of the law. PD is still liable, and this is my thing I'm telling you, and this is going to be in the law book. Now I'll make sure it is there. You are liable to make sure that the guy has food and water and a blanket, if I must say so, in prison. You must look after them as still a human being. When their time is finished sentence, the PD knows that they need to go get the guy out of prison. They know they need to go open the gates for him because he cannot walk through gates. He's not fucking Superman. So basically, that is going on. So basically, like I look to 25 mil will not go because that's a ridiculous amount. So basically, false imprisonment is not going to stick because he went to prison.
Yeah,
But
Your
except,
Honor, sorry, I just
wait one
want to
second.
clarify. I just want to clarify a term, please,
Mm.
please, Your Honor. False imprisonment. Yes, he went for it. I just want to obviously verify or just explain the term there. So basically, false imprisonment is the legal terms for over detention, meaning that you went to prison for 10 months, or you were charged for 10 months, and you only got out after 70 months without any obviously explanation or that you've done anything wrong there. So it was the neglect from the police department or PD department. So basically, that term means that it's actually for over detention.
So
That is
next
false imprisonment.
a statement of false imprisonment, please explain to the next what do you mean by, because false imprisonment means in our law is you were sent to prison without any evidence falsely.
I do
Okay,
apologize for not clarifying, but
guy
that's what
has
it means.
disability at the moment. So basically, he will need to get treatment from the doctor there, from the EMS. So basically, I will basically grant that to him because he has a disability. You need to see the doctor once a week to make sure he's recovering. So this is my end decision here. What's going to be happen is, yes, the PD made a mistake not to look if he has water and food. PD must do that. That is their people's right. So basically, 25 million is out of this case. We're not going to get 25 million because there's a ridiculous amount of money for that bit of harm. But what I will grant to that Mr. Baloyi there, because he got some damages from that prison. So basically, Mr. Baloyi there will be getting a weekly salary
Not a push.
from the state of Gotham to pay for his medical bills from the hospital. Not for him, it's for paying his bills from the hospital because he needs to get treatment that I'll give to him. So your treatment, I'm only gonna give, I'll speak to medical, but if like I look on my computer here, that thing can only last up to basically you're gonna go to the doctor for 20 weeks. So basically you will be getting your basically your they call it SASA money for the 20 weeks to go to the doctor to go see him and get treatment. Basically, that money will come from Gotham. Police
Uh,
department will be paying that money to the EMS. It's not will come basically the PD will pay for it. So the EMS will tell the PD how much that is. Number two, the loss of income. If you look at your computer there, ma'am, how much did this your client loss of income for that 50 months sitting and 70 months sitting in jail?
so, Your Honor, I just want to clarify. Yes, we're paying for his bills and everything, but this man that's sitting next to me is emotionally damaged. He's going through a mental state at this point. So for you guys just to go and say it's easy just to scrap the 25 mil, it's I don't feel that's fair in my opinion. If you look at the amount of trauma he went through, that is something that you can't replace. You
Okay,
can't.
ma'am. Now, basically, you talking about basically give me a figure. You give me 25 mil. How do you come to 25 mil? 25 will never be ever be standard weight. 25 mil for that damage is ridiculous. You came with a big amount. Please give me a different amount and we see what you can do because 25 mil will never be granted in this court. 25 mil is ridiculous.
Can we break for 2 minutes so I can discuss this with my client?
Yes, you can go to your left hand side, please discuss it because 25 mil will never go here. That's ridiculous. So basically, every guy in the street can just run in front of the PD car, get bumped, come sue the PD for
Yes.
25.
Okay, Your Honor, if I can just break for 2 minutes, please.
There we go.
Thank you.
Jesus, 25 mil. Oei, luksem. Hier, dit is, ek kan nie kom met soos 100,000 euro. Jesus. 25
Nee, man, dan wil vir die res van die lewe glad nie in die city werk nie.
25 mil is baie ou.
Julle steeds hoor.
Ja, jy is hoor. Ek dink dit 25 mil nou. Jy het 25 mil gespring, ek ook sommer voor 'n kar nou. As ek ook 25 mil. Ek het een ding vir julle sê ou. Die fucking lawyer het regtig gaan fucking werk gedoen. Dan kom sommer met briewe op briewe. Plak so. Wat die fuck kry jy dis 'n Baloyi kak? Plak so. Jacob. Ai, blikklap. Watch nou net, nou gaan hulle inkom met 40 miljoen, watch nou.
Hulle poes, hulle sal nie 'n sent by my kry nie.
25 mil is wat dag. Okay, kom hulle terug. Kom. Jo,
Ek wil nie, my mannetjie wil nie loop nie.
jump.
Put your left foot in front of the right foot.
Nog ingehardloop so met papa.
Sorry.
Okay, man.
Okay, so Your Honor, we've came to an agreement, negotiation. We will settle for 10 million.
Just
This Your Honor, can I put this to you? Can I just put this to you?
Luister, is julle fucking jags in julle koppe.
10 miljoen Zimbabwe dollars.
Dis my eks fucking uit.
Ja, 10 miljoen Zimbabwe dollars is fucking 10 rand. Ek sal julle 10 rand gee. Jesus.
okay, miss. 10 million is ridiculous. You know for your fact it's ridiculous. Basically, I will only grant medical bills, loss of income, and that's that. I'm not gonna grant 10 million. That's fucking.
Okay, we'll settle for 5 mil.
Yes, sis. Wat die poes gaan aan in jou kop?
Look here. My final decision is this, okay? This is what I will do. We will pay for his medical bills. Well, that's all we'll pay.
Okay, you.
Okay, that's number one. Number two, we will pay for his lawyer bills. That's you.
Okay.
Number three, I will pay the PD, the government, because PD's government will pay for the loss of income. But I'm not going to pay you 25, 10 or 5 more. That's ridiculous.
Okay, then 2 mil.
I'll pay for damage.
Yes,
not
sis. Wat die poes het julle met miljoene? Julle gaan dit kry nie. For fuck, dit ek
You are-
ek
you
wil
are
baie
not-
dat
guys,
ek
you
moet
see
die
what
pryse
happening
doen,
here
want
is-
ek gaan nou asseblief.
What the fuck? Hospital bills, I'll pay. Loss of income, we will pay. And lawyer bills, we will pay. And that's that. But we're not sticking, you have evidence, yes, but we're not going to give you 5 or 10 or 25 mil. That's ridiculous. If you came with a better thing like 50,000, 100,000, I do understand. But when you come to 5 mil, that is basically ridiculous. So basically, you must send me a bill for your lawyer bills. You
I'll
must
send you
send
a
me
bill.
what is it, 50 months. I want proof how much his salary was for 50 months. Text third one, he must go to the EMS. We will pay his bills for 20 weeks at the hospital for treatment. then that's all I'm gonna grant you. I'm not gonna grant you 5, 10, or 25 mil because that is fucking ridiculous for something small like that. If you came with 100,000, 500, then maybe I'll look at it. But basically 5 mil. That-
500,000?
No, your time is finished.
Yeah,
For this, basically,
after
I want a bill, please get me a bill through for your bill for you. I need a bill for your EMS will bill me for his treatment and that ridiculous amount. And then I also want proof of income for the 50 months he was in jail. No, sorry. 70 months, eh? Sorry, I want,
70
yeah. So
months.
basically, you cannot pay for his 10 months he was sentenced for because he has a record on him. I want the months he took overextended. I want proof how much his income was. Proper proof, not from Zimbabwe or from Tanzania. I want proof from where he worked here in Gotham.
We'll submit you the proof.
There we go.
I think I'm going to sue my colleague for emotional damage because the way he's raging.
No, basically
Unnecessary.
you can sue what else you want, but I'm going just to give you that. I'm not going to pay millions for something like that. You're supposed to go do your research. He was wrong, yes, and one side the PD was also wrong to keep him longer than his sentence was. Maybe there was a mishap on his paperwork, but I told you, medical bills, your bill, I will pay the government, and also will pay his loss of income with proof. Don't come there, his income was 5 million after fucking 50 months. I want proof how much his income was for that time. If you cannot provide a proof, I will not be refunding his loss of income. So, you got 24 hours to submit this document. If the document is not submitted in 24 hours, then I will scrap all that payments. So you got 24 hours to submit all the documents to me. You are his lawyer. You take him down to the hospital now. Get me a letter from the doctor to say that he has the condition and how much the bill will be for 20 weeks. So one time a week you must go see the doctor there. So basically, I want to within 24 hours. If you don't get in 24 hours, your client gets nothing from us.
Okay, and when are you paying me?
And then also, you must send your bill through to the info thing there, how much your bill is for this half an hour in court or what else you pay per hour. I don't know how much you charge. You must please get it through to me, and I'll make sure we get paid.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Come, Mr. Baloyi.
25 mil. What the butters? Yes. Good luck.
Okay,
Yeah,
anyway,
okay.
bye.